full of shit. We've already talked to
Can
your
I have
doctor.
a paper so I can maybe...
You want to write down your lies? You want to write down a good journal? You're full of shit. You killed your kid, and you don't give a rat's ass.
Yes, I do.
This video contains the third interview of a mother who killed her son during an attempt to abandon him. Brittany Gosney's previous relationships had ended in failure, so when she met James Hamilton, she was determined that this time things were going to work out. Gosney was already the mother to 4 children, one of whom had been taken from her by social services. From the beginning, Hamilton did not get along with the children. Frustrated by the natural noise and mess that comes with children of that age, he would frequently hogtie them and strike them and leave them like that for extended periods of time. In February 2021, Hamilton gave Gosney an ultimatum. It was him or the kids. Hamilton suggested leaving them at Rush Run Park, a location where they had dropped off the children in the past to frighten them into behaving. Gosney took all 3 children and started to drive away while they were in the bathroom. 6-year-old James ran after the van, holding onto the door as Gosney tried to leave. Eventually he fell off, and she continued on her way without checking on him. After driving some distance, she texted Hamilton, who told her to bring them back. When she returned, she said that James was already dead in the parking lot. Gosney took his body home, where she and Hamilton hid it until the next day when they drove to the river to dispose of it. On Sunday, they reported James missing, but police became suspicious of the large discrepancies in their stories.
Hey, Brittany.
Hey.
All right, so I got a note from you that said you needed to talk to me.
Yes.
What's
I'm
up?
not understanding like the law stuff
Okay.
because
Have you talked to your attorney about any of this?
he told me I couldn't tell him anything. So,
That you can't tell him anything?
yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just can't. I don't understand nothing about the law. Nothing.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not a lawyer. You know, I can tell you, I can explain the best I can. Okay. So what's going on?
Like the charges, I don't understand.
Okay.
Like what each one means or
Okay.
none of that.
Let's go through charge by charge. Okay. The first charge was murder. Okay. You took the 6-year-old up to the park to, you're telling me just to leave him.
Yeah.
All right. The 6-year-old grabbed a hold of the car handle.
Yes.
And you took off.
Yes.
And you told me that he was drugged some.
Yes.
Okay. And ultimately he died from that.
Okay.
Okay. That would be the murder charge they're talking about. Okay. You left for over 40 to 45, 50 minutes and you came back.
Okay.
Right? Is that correct? Okay. And then when you come back, the 2 are out on the road walking.
Mm-hmm.
You grab them. You pick them up. Is that right?
Yes.
And then you went back to the lot.
Yes.
You saw that he was dead, and you picked him up and put him in the van. Okay, so that was the murder part.
Okay.
The tampering with evidence is the little boy's evidence. Physical, he's evidence at that point.
Of what happened.
Of what happened. Right. So him being evidence, when you tamper with it, you picked him up, you put him back in the car, you took him to your house, left him there, and then you...
Okay, what would have happened if I would have called 911?
Well, you could explain to the police this is what happened.
Would I be in so much trouble that I'm in now?
I don't know, because the circumstances would have been some different. Not a lot, but some different. Yeah, they would have shown that, hey, I stopped. You know, you should have never took your kids up there and just dropped them off anyway.
Yes, I
Okay.
know that.
Okay.
Gosney tries to act as if she doesn't understand the charges against her, but they are very straightforward. If she truly didn't understand what she did was wrong, she wouldn't have gone to lengths to cover it up.
And then putting the body into the river, that's also tampering with evidence. Abuse of a corpse is he's deceased.
Mm-hmm.
And the abuse comes in when you don't report it, when you store the baby in your house for a couple days, and then when you toss him in the river. That's abuse of that corpse.
Okay, and he's being charged with the last 2?
Yes. Abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. Does that make sense?
And the judge was telling me how many years or whatever I couldn't understand them.
Okay, I don't know what the years are either. I really don't, or I'd tell you. There's nothing to hide.
Well, he told me the one was something 90 days or something.
Mm-hmm. Probably the corpse. Use of corpse, if I had to guess. I don't know.
But
Murders.
he told him the same thing.
Okay.
And I believe they told me murder was 15 years or some bond or something, $1,000 bond or something.
Okay. You got a $1 million bond total, right? And yours $1 million bond?
I don't know.
It's
That's why I
something
was
like
trying
that.
to tell the judge. I don't understand. With my learning disability, I have to have everything written down for me to understand it.
Mm-hmm. Did he give you any paperwork that's due?
No.
Okay. Well, you need to get hold of your attorney, and you remember Chris.
Atkins is what it said on my little note.
Okay.
How do I get a hold of him?
You'll get a new attorney
Okay.
once this goes to the county, and it's going to the county Friday.
Okay, is he going to the county too?
Who? James? Yeah. Yep.
I thought I was the only one that's just getting thrown around.
No. He's going to the county.
So basically, he's getting the
same thing.
damn near the same treatment as me.
Yes.
Okay. And then what happens once we go to the county? We stay there, we come back. I've never been in jail before, so I don't know.
Yeah, you'll stay there. You won't come back here. You'll never come back here. Once you leave here, you're gone. Now you can.
Okay, so
you can still send me notes. It'll just take a day or two to get to me before.
Okay, can you explain to me, like, how some stuff around here works? Like, if you run out of toilet paper, what do you do?
I don't have anything to do with corrections part of it. The corrections part over in the
Well,
county
do you know
probably be better.
if you get a shower, do they supply the soap and stuff?
They should give you like an indigent kit, which would be soap and shampoo or something.
Okay. Because
Yes.
I don't know how none of this works.
Yes.
Gosney's son is dead, and she is facing charges that could see her in prison for life. Yet she is more concerned about how she is going to take a shower while incarcerated. Her priorities are skewed and show that she has no remorse. Right now, you can watch another incredibly intense case on my Patreon. Discover the disturbing story of the Ken and Barbie killers, a terrifying tale about a couple obsessed with violence. Dive into their dark journey as they become immersed in unimaginable horrors. Watch this shocking video, along with many others, at patreon.com/strangerstoriesplus.
As I was telling you guys, I've never in my life been in trouble.
I know, I checked. I know that. I know this is scary. I understand that too.
They said you have to go get my medicine like you told me you would at my house. You said you was going to send somebody there to get it.
I'm going to have to talk to that nurse. Has she already been in?
Yes.
I'm going to call her. I'll have to call her about that.
Well, I told her the place I was getting my meds from and like the doctors and the pharmacy is all in the same area.
Okay.
And she said she was going to try her best to call the pharmacy. And I told her they're only open from 9 to 5, but the main part is open.
Well, that's what she does is here. So if she told you that. Then
and I'm allowed to have my medication if it's what I'm supposed to have.
If it's what's prescribed to you, yes.
So they cannot deny me of my medication. Nobody can.
Well, no, they're going to give you your medicine. They don't care if you have your medicine or not. I mean, they want you to have your medicine if you need it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, she tried to tell me that my hydroxyzine was a need, and no, I have to have that 3 times a day.
What's that for?
And my anxiety.
Your anxiety. Okay, I got you.
And there's 2 pills that helps me sleep at night. I'm really not able to sleep.
Well, I didn't think you would be able to anyway, even with that, probably.
It would help me.
But they probably won't give you anything to help you sleep. Unless the nurse approves it or the doctor. Because she works for a doctor.
It came from the doctor, so it's for my breathing, because I have real bad asthma and my heart rate problems.
I'll check with her. I'll get a hold of the nurse and check with her.
Okay, because I've had my medicines. She said she couldn't tell me what to do. I had a panic attack last night, and I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
And if I had my medicine, it would help out a lot.
Right, for anxiety.
Yeah. I'm just trying not to end up in the hospital.
No, I understand that. I agree.
And then you said you'd be able to get my sister's number out of my phone?
Yeah, what's her name?
Lisa.
Last name? Is it just under Lisa?
It's just under Lisa.
And you can call now, too.
I am?
Yeah, the phones are not locked down. This Lisa?
Yes. Would you be able to write her address down just in case when I'm able to mail people? Because that's her address.
Don't you see? Okay.
Am I allowed to talk to my boyfriend or not?
No.
Gosney and Hamilton will not be allowed to speak. They have had more than enough time to work on a story to tell the police, and it can only be broken down if they are separated and worried about what the other will say.
What do I do? Click a button? There it is. Okay.
So the way it seems is James is getting out before me.
That I don't know. That'll be up to the judge to make that decision. I don't know. You don't have as many charges as you do. Let me ask you a question. Are you covering for him at all?
For what?
For James? Was he for sure not with you that night when you went up there to the park? Because I got some video from the house, and I'm going to check. I've not checked it yet. If he wasn't, that's fine. But if he was with you, I hope for the love of God you're not covering for him.
No, I was by myself with the kids.
Hamilton did not go with Gosney on the first trip to leave the children, although they had done something similar before to frighten the children into behaving. Hamilton went back with Gosney to retrieve the body.
But prior to that, I don't know what he did to the kids upstairs when he tied them up.
He tied him up that day, earlier that day, right?
That same night, before we even left. I didn't bother to check them to see if they were okay or anything.
Okay, what same night?
Before, I told you guys, well, if you go back to the camera footage, it'll tell you the exact time.
So you leave with all three children?
Yes.
Let's start there, because that's where my mind is. You leave with all three children are fine.
Yes, but James acted a little funny.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I kept asking him, like, what is wrong? He wouldn't tell me, and he kept hiding and putting a hat on, hiding his head. So,
Hiding whose head?
James, my son James.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So, and you're saying he had tied them up earlier in that same
and
day?
he had kept going up there and hitting them and punching them and all kinds of stuff.
Okay. But did James walk out on his own? Or did you carry him out to the van?
My daughter helped him out.
Like holding his hand?
Both my kids helped him outside.
How did they help him?
Like they were holding his hand.
So each kid's holding his hand,
Yes.
and they're all three walking to the van?
Yes.
I got you.
And he literally almost fell. I didn't think nothing of it. I didn't bother to check the kids.
All right.
So I don't know if he already kind of had that injury beforehand, and I just made it worse.
Right.
James may have had previous injuries from Hamilton striking him.
Because I'm sure he probably not admitted that he tied him up.
He did.
He did.
He told us that.
Did he admit that he was beating on him?
Yep. He told us how he punched James in the face.
He always punches him in the face and the top of the head.
Yeah.
And I keep telling him that place, you can't do that anyways. And that's the most sensitive place on their body is their face and their head.
Right. Yeah, he told us that. He admitted all that.
So basically he admitted what I have been telling you guys that he's done too.
Yes. He admitted to tying him up. He told us where he took those ropes after he got done with them.
Okay.
We got those. And then he told us.
And you also got the recording thing that was early.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He told us. You told us where that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't ask him, like, why he take it out, and I have no idea. I told him
my partner did. I didn't get to talk to James a bunch. I talked to him some, but my partner did most of the interview with him.
Which is the other guy that was with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first place you went was the wrong place, is that right?
Yes.
Do you know where that place is at? How far away was that place from the place you ended up?
Well, he had told me to put it in my GPS, Rapid Run Park. Not Rapid.
I know what you mean. Rush Run.
Yes, Rush Run Park. And it took me, there was like a garage right here. It went like this. There's a garage off to this side and a bunch of cars parked here. Mm-hmm. And if you went back farther, there was something else. I didn't go back that far.
Okay. You just knew you were in...
Nothing looked familiar to me.
Okay, so you left.
Yes.
Okay, but that was the wrong place? Or
yes,
that was technically...
that was the wrong place.
I got you. All right. Now, let me ask you this. You told me that this happened Friday into Saturday, and then Saturday into Sunday is when you took the poor boy up there.
To
the bridge.
Yes.
Okay, so James is insisting that happened with you and the kids at Thursday into Friday, and then you guys dumped the body Saturday into Sunday. He's saying the boy was upstairs for 2 days, not just 1 day. Deceased.
Well, see, I don't remember the days.
Okay.
I could have sworn it was Friday into Saturday, but...
Could it have possibly been that?
It could have possibly been.
Thursday and Friday. Okay.
It's just, between me and him, we've been going through so much.
Well, you need to sever ties with him. I hope you're smart enough to know that. He's not a good dude.
Well, I done lost my kids. They're going for good.
The reason Gosney abandoned her children in the first place was to prevent Hamilton from leaving her. This was done even with the knowledge that he harmed them on a regular basis.
Hang tight for a minute, okay? Yeah. What do you want? Put that in your pocket.
I don't have any pockets. Is there any way that I can get my glasses out of my purse that I'm supposed to wear?
Yes, they're back in your property. I took them back there last night because I thought they were the kids, that little boys, but I found those. Oh my gosh.
Your mind blank?
Yeah, one totally blank.
I'm about to say you wanted to say something and then just like went away.
Oh, I do have your meds. That's what I was going to tell you. I'm not going to be able to get them to them until tomorrow because the guy that, you don't know him, but he's our evidence guy.
Yeah.
They're locked up
Uh-huh.
because we took everything from the house and it's all secure. We tag it into property.
Like what from the house?
Well, our pictures and just anything that any phones that we found, we take that kind of stuff in the house when we do
I'm
search
like,
warrants.
what?
So,
What?
but he's got that locked up, but I will get that to
Okay,
you tomorrow
what
night.
would happen to our stuff that's at the house?
It's still there. When I talked to
Can
the landlord,
anybody go in there and get it?
everything's secure. The whole house is secure.
Locked?
Yeah, secure. Yeah, locked.
And you
The
said
landlord met us yesterday.
Uh-huh. Which was Taylor, right?
Short dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice guy. And yeah, he let us in and then locked up behind us, so we're all good. Everything's secure in the house. That's something you might want to talk to your sister about.
Would she
I
be
would
able
be
to
your
go
personal-
get my stuff out of there?
With your permission, yeah.
Gosney continues to show that her son's death is low on the list of her priorities, instead worrying about her personal belongings.
You should be able to get your personal, especially anything that, like sentimental stuff, yeah, I would get that stuff if I were you. So I got your medication. Now listen, I'm going to try to remember, I need your medication. I'll go write it down right now because I got another long day tomorrow. So yes, you're good. I got your medication.
Okay, how would I get my glasses? Would you tell them to get me my
Yes,
glasses?
when I take you back. She's got glasses in her property and she'd like them back. I'm fine with that. Yep.
Okay.
Finish your pop. I'll give you about 5 minutes. So you guys came off of your street when you left that night?
Mm-hmm. And
Or when you left, that with the kids?
I went the same way.
Straight down Central? Did you come down to Central Avenue?
I went straight down the street and went Logan.
To Logan?
Followed my GPS as it told me to go.
So it probably told you to go down Central. So, you know, downtown, or downtown
Yeah,
Central?
I just typed in the GPS of
Okay.
the park, and that's how I got there.
All right.
Also, something I meant to mention to you. He told me to delete where I typed in my GPS.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can still get that from through the boost or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then the text message that I had texted him
Mm-hmm.
before he called me, he told me delete. So I don't know if you can get that off.
Do you have do you know his passcodes to his phone?
Like the main thing,
Yeah.
like from the store?
No, like, you know how to get on my phone, I have to type a little password?
Are you talking about when you go to My Boost?
No. I got his phones,
Okay.
okay? So to get into my phone, I have to type a password to get in it. Do you know what his password is?
No, because he didn't have one.
He didn't have one? Was he using that phone that he gave your daughter? Or is that your daughter's phone?
No, that is his wife's daughter's phone.
Oh, okay. Does he use that one?
No. He has a black phone that's kind of similar to the bigger one of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and another black phone that's the same one as that purple one, with the black case.
And there's no passcode on it?
No.
Let me go show this to you.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you today?
Morning.
So, real quick, like, we got all these phones, and this one.
This phone doesn't work, doesn't do anything.
Okay, this doesn't have a phone. Okay, this was
It has no
laying.
number, no nothing.
Okay.
Is that the one that was in her purse?
No, this
No,
one was
the
in
purple
the
one
front.
was the
This
one
one
in
was
my
in the front bedroom.
Yes, that one doesn't
All
do
right,
nothing.
now,
It's
this
activated.
phone.
That is James's.
This is James' primary phone.
No, it's not.
It's not his
No,
primary
it's not.
phone. Okay. So,
Y'all are missing a phone, I can tell you that right now.
yeah, James told me we were missing a phone.
Just like this, but it had a black case.
So where was it?
He had it.
He
And then he
told-
went back to the house, so I don't know what he did with it.
He told me, he swore up and down that it was laying on the coffee table in the living room.
That's the one I got. That's the one I picked up that night when he
Okay.
left, and that ended up being his daughter's,
Yeah.
or his ex-wife's daughter's phone.
Okay, that's the one that came out of this one. This is the one.
That one, yeah, that ain't activated nothing. I don't even know why he even.
Because he was on it that day, or he was holding it when I walked in.
That's to make you guys think that it's his phone when it's not.
Okay.
I'm telling you guys, that is not his phone.
And she told him, or he told her to delete the GPS off of her phone.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also delete the message that she had sent him.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't matter. I can bring back a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him, like, would you guys be able to bring back that stuff even though
There is no way for them to hide any evidence that may have been on the phones. It is simple for the police to recover texts, pictures, and browser history.
after I deleted it because he told me to?
Yeah. So,
You guys know he has a safe there, right?
yeah.
You might want to check in there for his phone.
Where was the safe at? I
It
didn't
was
even.
in the
the front
master
room.
bedroom. But we didn't have any reason to check that.
Is there a code to the safe?
Yeah.
Do you know it? Same as your phone here? That's what you gave me to get into your phone.
My phone don't have no passwords, neither one of my phones.
Well, where did that come from?
Her.
That's the Boost, main thing from Boost. Like, to pay the phone bill, anything.
Oh, the password to pay the bills or
Yeah,
and
but to
activate.
get anything from Boost
got
is.
you.
I got you. So you think his phone might be in that safe?
Yeah, he's done something with it. I'm telling you guys, he's done something with
How
it.
do you, so, okay.
I had this phone and this phone. He had this phone and a phone just like this, but black case and all. We had both two active phones.
Mm.
So you guys gotta be searching somewhere, because he has another phone, and that is the main
You think
phone.
you'll be able to get those deleted texts?
I don't know. I should. I don't see why it couldn't.
Well, I mean, he admits that she texted him,
Yeah, he's in bed again.
told him, call her and said to come back.
What is your Gmail that is showing up, that is on your phone? Do you know?
I can write it down for you.
Yeah, write it clearly.
QueenPrettyBrit20@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I say, I'm trying to help you guys any way possible.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. We appreciate it. So, okay, so your gut would tell you that phone is where?
In the safe, because that's where he puts everything to hide anything. But then if you got, because it was 7128 to get in that safe.
Is there a key anywhere to get in?
I think he has it on one of his key sets.
Do you have any keys on it in his property?
I want to say he had one or two loose keys, but it didn't look like. If we go back over there and we can't get in the safe, we'll just take it.
Yeah.
And then we'll get in it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not that hard to get into.
Yeah, because he might have, when he put it in there, he might have changed it.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. If he went through the effort of putting it in there, he's probably
Done changed it.
yeah, he's probably changed it.
I don't know why he would do that. I mean, it helps with evidence.
So Friday, did you go up to Lowe's?
I didn't go anywhere Friday.
Anytime this past week have you been to Lowe's?
No, I don't go to Lowe's. He does.
Okay.
I've never been in Lowe's. I don't even know what they have.
Does he take the kids to the store to Lowe's or anything like that, or he wouldn't be around them?
Normally he makes them stay at home with me.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. So you've not been to Lowe's and
I don't know what Lowe's even looks like. So
Lowe's department store up there at, you know where the old Steak and Shake used to be? Up there on town? That's
I know where Lowe's is called, but I've never been in Lowe's, nothing.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Somebody called and said they saw you in Lowe's Saturday or Friday.
Actually, I went in there, I remember actually, we went in there for a drill or something that he wanted.
Did you go with him?
Yes.
Were the kids with you guys or elsewhere?
And if
Kids were in school.
Kids were in school.
What day was that?
It had to been Monday or Tuesday.
Of this past week?
Yeah, because they go to school Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, okay. That's right.
That's not where you guys got the rope.
I don't know where he got the rope. I didn't go with him to get no rope.
Okay. Cool. You thought that was Walmart, though, what you told me.
I mean, he goes to Lowe's because that's what he goes for the boss, which is to get the material and all that. So, I don't know.
Did he lift the drill or buy the drill?
They couldn't find it.
Oh, they couldn't find the one he wanted?
Yeah, he had no luck with it.
Okay.
So we just went back home.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. What is his email? Gmail.
Charles 937. I'm gonna say, what in the world is that?
Hello.
It's loud, isn't it?
Hello.
Hi, this is Olivia with Children's Services.
Well, hold on, Olivia.
There you go. That's a 7. That's a
937.
Yeah.
You done with that? Okay, just
Almost.
take your time. Good. So, I messed up after I left. Because when I walked in, you sent me a kite that you wanted to talk to me.
Uh-huh.
So you approached me, which is fine.
Okay.
That's any time. I told you that. But I forgot to Mirandize you before we started talking. So, like, that information. This is
like,
okay. I explained it to you, and I'll explain it to you again. I'm going to read this to you,
okay.
and then we'll go through step by step.
So anytime I talk to you, I have to.
You have to, yes.
Why is that?
Because say you give me some information that I'm going to use, like you gave me the information about his Gmail and his phone being probably
you
locked
asked
up.
me that, so
I
that's
know.
what I'm supposed to do.
No. But listen, since I didn't Mirandize you, I can't use that information.
Okay.
Okay? It's weird, I know, but I'll explain it to you. Because by law, you don't have to talk to me. I know you requested to talk to me, But you don't have to talk to me without your lawyer present.
Well, I don't have a lawyer.
Yeah, you do. It's Chris Atkins, you told me.
So the lawyer that they gave me in the court.
That is your attorney for now.
Okay.
Probably.
Will they tell me who my new one is once?
Yes, absolutely.
And I'll have his number and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
So can I read you this and ask you those same questions? Okay, warning, I am a police officer. I warn you, you have the right to remain silent, which means you don't have to talk to me. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with a lawyer. You can talk to your attorney, your lawyer, before and during any questioning while you're being questioned. And if you cannot afford a lawyer, one that's appointed to you, which is Chris Atkins, and then down the road they'll appoint somebody else. Okay? They may appoint somebody else.
Well, he said I qualified maybe for one or two. That's what Chris Atkins said.
Attorneys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Before any questioning, okay, you can stop talking to me or any other police officer at any time during questioning.
Okay.
So you don't have to talk to me, and when you're done, just say, I'm done.
Okay.
The entire interview was almost a waste of time because of this mistake. Without being Mirandized each time, Gosney could have potentially given information that could later be tossed out of court, even if it was critical to the case.
I flip that card over. Print your name there again at the top. My wife keeps texting me, will she stop? I'm busy.
Well, the only reason why I asked you if I can talk to you, because you're able to tell me stuff that I need, that I'm trying to find out.
Yes. Well, you wanted to know about your charges and understand that. Yes.
Well, you understand that because I've never been locked up before, so I don't know what.
Yeah, everything means.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can get confusing. Today is the 2nd, 3/2, and the time is 12:10.
12:10?
Yes.
See, I wish when we're in jail, I wish we'd be able to see a clock.
That would drive me insane too, not knowing the time. I'm with you.
I'm like,
Because there's no clocks back there.
No.
You think they could put something safe on the walls?
yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah. I mean, put it even on the. Well,
I wouldn't even care if they put it all the way on the ceiling in my room.
Right. So you gave me, before I Mirandized, you've been Mirandized now. Can you confirm that this is your Gmail account?
Yes.
And that you believe this is his?
That is his. Yes.
Okay. And you
I had a
said,
couple more questions, but I'm trying to remember what they were.
tell me where his phone is again, where you think it might be.
It has to be in the safe.
And the code to that safe, best you could remember?
Zeros. What did I just tell you guys?
Something 379.
0712. No, it's my last four of my social.
Last four of your social?
Yes, but it has an O. Oh, 7128.
Yep.
Sorry,
I couldn't remember either. You just told me.
remember. I'm having problems remembering.
That's all right. So what else did you want to ask me?
How long will I be here?
Till Friday. You'll be shipped out. You probably won't know. That's not true. Butler County Jail will be better, number one, just so you know that. Facility is just newer. It's just nicer.
Do I get put with somebody else or by myself?
That I don't know how they work over there. I can make it work. I can do that here by yourself. And I would imagine you'll be by yourself until you go through court process.
Okay, so you don't know when I'll...
And don't, my advice is don't tell nobody your business when in jail. Okay? Just tell them I'm here for whatever. Make up something. Okay? Don't worry about getting beat up. That's not how. You'll be all right. Okay? People watch a lot of TV and they get into these situations and freak out.
The detective may intend to be comforting, but he isn't being accurate. Those that have harmed children are frequently made targets of violence in jail.
like me.
Yeah. You'll be all right. And I do got your medication, like I told you. I will get that to you tomorrow, as soon as I get the key to that property room. And you do think that this could have happened on Thursday,
Yes.
not Friday? Check that.
So with me telling you guys exactly everything happened, and he didn't tell me exactly. He said I did good on the whatever thing, the polygraph test or whatever it's called, except for one question, and then he went over with me.
You remember what that question was? 'Cause I do not.
Did I think the kids were going to get harmed? No, I didn't think they would get harmed, but I did not know if they would get harmed.
Meaning that so was your intention to go up there and throw your kids in the river?
No.
Did you and James talk about that?
No.
Did anything about driving them into the river?
No.
And you jumping out of the car and saving yourself?
No.
Any type of killing that I'm going to kill these three and I'm going to leave them up there?
He talked about putting them in the car, throwing them in the river, and burn it.
Okay.
But I've never talked about any of that. I wouldn't do that to my kids.
Okay. So your intention was what that night? Just to drop them off
Yes.
and be done?
Yes.
I got you.
Not to harm them, nothing.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying that with James, it was a pure accident. It wasn't meant to happen.
I hear you. Okay. Thanks. All right, we're good. It's fine. No, you're good. No, hold on. All right. So I have to Mirandize you just like I told you yesterday, okay? Warning, I am a police officer. One, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with a lawyer before and during any questioning and have a lawyer present while you're being questioned. That if you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you free before any questioning, and you can stop talking to me or any other police officer at any time during questioning. You understand what I just read you? Flip the card over.
Yeah, this is like the, third time?
Third time.
Something.
This is what I got from you today. It's 6:31 p.m.
Did you get to a reminder about the meds? And
I did, and the nurse had called the doctor, and he said he didn't prescribe you anything. You're not on any prescriptions, so she's not going to give you the meds. I talked to her this morning. That's what she told me.
You talked to Dr. Green.
Yeah. She called down there and talked to the right doctor.
I think she has the wrong place or something.
Where do you go to the doctor?
Primary Health Solutions, and the only one I see there is Dr. Green.
That's who she said she called. Today's the 3rd, 3-3.
What time is it?
6:31.
And it's what is today's, like?
The 3rd, 3/3/21.
Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Wednesday. I had to think about that too.
I feel like I've been in there for whatever.
Alright. Do you just have something specific?
I heard him talking about earlier about somebody from Butler County was going to get somebody. Will they let me know before they come in there and get me?
Probably
How does
not. That'll happen Friday after it gets, no. Might not happen on
They
Monday.
said that you have to go talk to a bunch of people first before I even get moved.
That's grand jury. That'll be Friday morning at 9 a.m.
Okay. So I probably won't be moving until probably next week.
Nope. Probably not till next week. Probably Monday. I would assume Monday.
Okay, I need a shower. Like, you
I'll
can
ask
see,
him. I'll
I'm
ask him.
breaking out everywhere.
I'll ask him. I'll go back there and talk to him as soon as I drop you back off.
The next day, Gosney is still mainly concerned with her own comfort, as if she has already pushed the existence of her son and what she did to him from her mind.
I got a question for you, though. Are you willing to talk to me about what happened?
Yeah.
First off, I need to know why you guys are down in Richmond, Indiana, at Walmart.
Richmond, Indiana.
Yeah. Or Richmond.
What?
I think it's Richmond, Indiana. It wasn't Richmond, Kentucky.
I didn't go to any Walmart.
You did not go to any
No,
Walmart?
that's why I'm looking at you like, what are you talking about?
Did he take the kids and go to Walmart?
He might have, I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I've not
He
seen the
does
video
some
yet.
stuff when I'm sleeping. So how am I supposed to know anything?
Well, I mean, you're not sleeping 24/7.
My meds would let me, I'd be sleeping 24/7.
All right.
And as you can tell, you had to yell for me for a couple minutes to even get me.
I don't yell a long time. But I know what you're saying.
They yelled for me a couple times to ask me if I was okay.
Right.
So I'm a deep sleeper.
Once you're out, you're out.
Yes.
Okay. I need to know one other thing, because I want to put James to rest properly.
Okay.
Okay. Is he really where you said you dumped him?
Gosney has started to throw Hamilton under the bus by claiming that he is the one that disposed of the body. She admits to being there, but not helping, which is different from Hamilton's statement.
My son?
Yes.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
where he dumped him.
Okay, but you were with him.
Yes.
Okay.
That is where.
That
we
is
dumped
where
him.
you guys went to do
Yes.
it. That's legit.
And yes, he said to make sure we dumped him on that side because of the currency or something goes this way. I don't know
current.
nothing about the water.
Right. Okay.
And you said they won't be out there until what, Sunday again to look?
Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to tell you? We're going out tonight in a few minutes. Actually, they're over there now doing it. I'm heading over there as soon as I put you away. We're going to check for blood on your car and underneath your car. When you run over somebody, that'll show up. It's called Blue Star Luminant. They use this light and all this other crap to look for it.
Basically, like you turn out the lights and everything's like lit up blue, whatever.
After they've used a certain chemical.
I've seen it
That's what they're
on
going to do.
some of the haulers.
Right.
And
Well, that's what we're going to go do tonight. We're waiting for dark, a little bit darker.
oh, I was like, who in the world?
Yeah, we're only two here, so. I suspect once we, understand that a murder charge is a murder charge. Okay, meaning that it doesn't
Well, I
matter.
don't even know exactly what murder even means, so.
Okay, you killed somebody. That's what murder means. Okay, you killed your son. So
Cause the death of another.
and so it doesn't matter.
Even though it was an accidental,
I think it was, but you went there to dispose of your kid, to leave your kids out there is what you went to do, huh?
I
That's
went
a crime.
to go there to drop them off, not to harm them or anything.
Okay, but you're still abandoning your children, okay? So that's how the law reads there,
Okay.
as far as murder. So my question to you is, I suspect that we're gonna find on the tire and the undercarriage of the car some sort of blood matter is what I think. Blood evidence is what we're gonna end up finding underneath.
Okay,
So
if
it
you
doesn't
don't,
matter.
then what?
Well, either way, what I'm trying to get at is, I still don't think you're being totally honest with me about how he died, to be quite frank with you, okay? For some reason, you're minimizing the fact that you drug him, and you think that's better than running him over.
I did not run him over.
Or doing something else.
That's why I was telling you,
Did
I
something
could
else-
have dragged him.
Okay.
I didn't see that, but I didn't.
Well, you did tell me that you
I
saw him
talked
drag him.
to, I think it was the polygraph dude,
Right.
And he said if I was to run somebody over, I would be able to tell because, like, it lifts.
Well, not necessarily.
Well, that boy was itty bitty. He wasn't big.
He's not a big kid, so I know what he's talking about, but that's not necessarily true when it comes to children.
Well, I didn't feel that, so
Okay.
when he asked me, I didn't.
Was there any other means used to harm your child by you or by your boyfriend?
Okay, you gotta explain better than that because
Okay.
I'm not understanding.
Okay, so we're up to the point where you drug him and that's how he died.
Okay.
Okay, that's where we're at. Murder's murder is what I'm trying to get at. So if you tell me the truth and say, hey, no, this is really what happened, this is how he died, is what I'm trying to get at. If there's another reason that he died, then I just want to know the truth of the matter. Because when we recover him, an autopsy is going to show.
Unfortunately, an autopsy was never possible because James's body has yet to be recovered.
And we're going to recover him. This ain't out yet, but they found him on sonar. They think they found him in sonar. Sonar's like an X-ray for the water.
So they just can't get down in there right now because of the
current.
The current and the height of the river, the flood, still in flood.
There's still branches and stuff flowing along the top. You can't put a diver in there because it may hook them. But they put these little like submarine things, these little remote control submarines in the water. Those can go down, and they have went down low enough to where they.
So they did see that he was down there.
They're 90% sure, like 91% sure is what they told us today, that they think they found him there at the river. It's not positive, but they've got the general size, they've got the general shape, and they're pretty sure that they found him. They're going to go down and get him here next week, and he's not going anywhere where he is. Because the water is so cold,
I won't let him float.
I ain't been outside, so
it's like he's in a refrigerator. He's going to be almost, other than being dead, he's going to be in really good shape.
Why does your body turn? Like, why does your body turn?
Okay, you see, this is the issue with you, and this is the issue, I'm sorry, were you in the middle or are we good? This is the issue with you. You're right, we're right in the middle of a conversation. Now, you can't hold a thought to carry on a conversation because you're all over the place. And honestly, I think it's because you're full of shit and you don't want to just talk and have a conversation about what the subject matter is. The issue is he's asking you, was he alive when you went to the park?
Or was he already dead?
Or was he already dead?
After carefully interviewing Gosney's two other young children, the police were able to determine that James was alive on the initial trip to the park.
Because the coroner's going to give me a cause of death. Okay, and if you're bullshit, it doesn't matter. Murder is murder, huh? It doesn't matter if you shot him, which I'm not saying you did. I'm giving you an example. I'm giving you an example. It doesn't matter if you shot him, stabbed him, or threw him in a moving bus, in front of a moving bus. Death is death. You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay? So I just need the truth on how he really died. Because I don't believe you're telling me the whole truth about how he really died.
And we're going to figure out next week. Just no bullshit, straight up answer.
And again, I told you, you're only fucking yourself here by not being totally honest about how he died. Okay? I told you that. I don't know if you're just trying to protect Knucklehead back here or what, but you need to tell me the truth about how he died. And the ball's in your court. I can't make you tell me, but you know how he died, and so does James. Okay? And for some reason, you think it's going to be less something in court or less.
And James ain't going to say a word because it's all on you.
He's pushed every bit of this on you.
He was at home, according to what it's been told. That's why, honey, we're looking you dead in the eye right now. Tell us how little James, your son, died. One sentence is all you have to give us. How did little James, your son, your youngest baby,
He wasn't
die?
responding when he got out of the van.
Where at?
Remember when I told you when we got there, he wasn't.
When you got
So he was
where?
already dead before you got there? Yes or no?
Yeah, he had to because he wasn't.
Okay, then how did he die?
Whatever James did to him upstairs.
Okay, you need to tell me that. What did James do?
He choked him out with rope, the same rope. Every last one of them.
The kid, all three.
All three kids. You can ask all three of them.
Because I know he hog-tied him.
Yeah,
Okay.
and he was beating them, literally beating them. I
Okay.
could hear thumps on the floor.
Why didn't you call us?
He wouldn't let me have a phone.
Okay, so he's dead before you even take him out of the house. Is that correct?
Yeah, I didn't know it.
Who loads him up in the car? So he didn't walk to the car.
The kids, like, basically helped him to the car.
Helped
The other two kids helped James to the car.
Your two other kids carried dead James to the car.
He, like...
Okay,
Am
you're
I not
fucking
making-
lying.
No, am I not making this sense?
No, not at fucking all.
Can you please stop yelling at me?
You're gonna sit here and tell me and tell us that your
No.
two other babies carried your
No.
dead youngest one to the car.
Oh, my God.
Let's back up. Okay? James is upstairs beating the kids.
He hogs ties them, wraps.
No, I'm talking about the day James died, or little James died. Okay, tell me about that day. You said he's beating on him that day.
Yes, he was beating on him that day.
Okay, and what did James come down and say afterwards? Did you ever go up and check on him? To see if they were breathing, see if they were okay?
I heard movement upstairs,
Okay,
but he told me if I go up there, he was going to blow my brains out.
okay. So what did he say happened to James?
He said he didn't know, he didn't give a fuck.
Was James conscious when you went up there?
Somewhat.
What about the other two?
They were up, when I untied them, they were up moving around. James, it took him a minute to even function.
So James did function then?
It took him like 30, 40 minutes to even move.
So he's just laying there up in the bedroom?
Yeah.
And he's already been cut loose?
I didn't cut him loose. I tried my best to untie the knots that he had already tied.
Okay. So how did James did he ever get loose?
Yeah, I untied him.
Okay, you untied James.
Yeah, I untied all of them, but James was laying there for about 30, 40 minutes before he even...
Moved at all?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how's James acting?
He was, like, staggering, running and stuff.
Is this the same night you went up
Yes.
to the park?
Yes. Literally, like, before we went to that park is when he did what he did.
So then you really didn't drag James?
No, that's what I keep trying to tell y'all. I didn't do anything to that little boy.
You did? Yeah, you did. You didn't help him, number one. Okay? You're a grown-ass adult. That's a little baby. Okay? It's your job as a parent to protect your babies. Fuck James. Fuck Big James.
And you do have them guts that he was...
Yeah, I got them all.
All three.
Yes, all three of them.
Only
When did you
one
put those
hand
in the garage?
the same time with the other shit. And he's had those two, the little ones, in his safe and every time.
So when we talk, the kids are getting that forensic interview tomorrow. You know what I told you about?
Yeah.
How many times, what are they going to say about you hitting on them?
You know, I'm not really in on them at all. I make them stand in the
What
corner.
are they going to say about you hitting on them that night with James upstairs?
They're probably just going to say I whipped their butt. That's about it. Like you said, you do your children.
Right.
But I don't punch them, leave bruises, nothing. That's all James.
So what did James tell you? Tell me the conversation. So James comes back downstairs after beating them, right? You go back up
He has went up there like 3 or 4 times.
during the day? I mean, during the time span?
Yes.
Like, what time span? 8 hours? What time were they tied up that day?
It was almost their bedtime, so it was like 6 in the 6 at night, basically.
Okay, so that's about the time he tied him up?
Yes.
Okay.
Hamilton admitted in his own interview that he would hogtie the children when he felt as if they were not behaving.
So they're all 3 upstairs?
And they stayed tied up.
Where were they tied up at?
If you go upstairs to the upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
you go this way, you see the little girl's clothes.
Mm-hmm.
It's that closet in her room.
Okay. So all 3 of the kids are in that closet?
Yes.
Hog-tied?
Yes, with dirty, trifling underwear.
Okay.
And
So,
that was all him, not
put the
me.
underwear where?
In their mouth.
In their mouths. Okay. And how long were they tied up for? What period of time?
It was literally like 10 minutes before 9 o'clock.
So about 3 hours?
Yeah, their hands were purple.
Okay. So they're tied up for 3 hours. Okay. And during that time period, that 3 hours, James is doing what?
Which James?
Big James, your boyfriend.
He kept going back up there, back downstairs, and beating the shit out of him.
Okay. Who got the worst of it?
I couldn't tell you. You had to ask him.
Okay. So he's up and down the steps, beating him.
Several times.
And as he comes back downstairs every time, what does he say?
I asked him, what did he do? He said, don't fucking worry about it. I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Okay. And then what?
And then I told him, well, I'm about to go up there on time because the kids don't deserve this.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, if you do, I'm going to shoot your ass.
Okay.
And every time he goes in there and gets a gun.
So at what time did you go upstairs on time?
When it was almost bedtime.
So
The 10 minutes that they had left. Well, the 10 minutes before 9 o'clock.
Okay, so 10 till 9, you went
Yes.
upstairs and untied him.
Yes.
What made him okay with you going upstairs at that point?
Because I told him I was going to go on time. I didn't care what he wanted.
No, you didn't, but why didn't he care that you went up there? Did
Because
you tell him
he told me he was going to bed to go untie them.
Okay, so he told you.
Yeah.
So you didn't do any of this bullshit. I don't care about what you say. I'm going up there. Don't lie about nothing. Okay. So he told you to go on time, correct?
He said if I wanted to go on time, then go on time.
Okay, so you went upstairs and untied him.
Yes.
And just with your hands, not with
Yes.
a knife.
Nope.
Okay, just with your hands.
Yes.
Okay, so once you untied him, you said the other 2 had gotten up fairly quick,
Yes.
but
And they kept complaining their hands were purple and their hands were numb. They couldn't feel nothing.
okay. And and James was not responsive.
No.
Okay. So you said it took how long before it become more alert?
30, 40 minutes.
30, 40 minutes. And now, is he talking at this time, 30, 40 minutes later?
Barely. He was talking, but you couldn't really understand what he's saying.
Okay. So you can't understand what he's saying. And is he walking?
It's slowly.
Slowly?
Mm-hmm. Slowly.
Did he have any visible injuries on his body?
He had on. I didn't check.
Okay. On his face?
He had bruises all
Over his face?
Yes.
Okay.
And it looked like he had like a knot, like right in here, on both
Okay.
sides of his face.
Okay. So,
Like his face has been swollen from being punched.
okay.
I mean, every time.
On both sides of
Yes.
his face or just one side?
On both sides.
On both sides of his face. And so after 40 minutes, he's kind of talking and he's kind of walking. Is he literally walking or is he
He
crawling?
was kind of walking. He asked one of the kids to help him kind of down the stairs so he wouldn't fall.
Right.
Because that one handle is kind of wobbly going up and down the stairs.
Okay, so he gets downstairs. Which kid helps him do that?
I believe it was.
So helps him down the steps. Where is your other boy?
Right behind him.
Okay. And you are where?
Following right behind all of them.
Okay, so that's what I meant.
Yes,
The two go down first, then the other
Yes.
boy, then you.
yes.
Okay, you get downstairs and what happens?
They
What do they do?
basically was going to go to bed like I told you guys.
Okay, so they
And
come
when
down.
James insisted on they have to get out
So James is in the bedroom or outside, or in the living room?
in the living room. That's where we all were.
So he comes out of the living room, or out of the bedroom? Because you said he went to bed.
He was going to bed
Okay.
until I went upstairs to untie the
So
children.
when they come down, he's in the living room.
Yeah,
Where's he at?
sitting on the couch.
He's sitting on the couch. So he's sitting on the couch, and what's he say? What do you say? What does he say? What do the kids
He
say?
told me that he didn't want to see a hair of them kids.
Okay,
If he was to see them, he was going to beat them some more.
okay. So,
And he said he didn't care what happened to him. He didn't give a fuck.
okay. So at this point, what do you do?
I made the kids go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted them to come downstairs to go to bed.
Right.
But that's when James had said, if I see a hair of them fucking kids, I'm going to beat the shit out of the more of them, beat more shit out of them than they already was.
Right.
So I had told them they were upstairs changing because he wouldn't let them he wouldn't let me untie them to go use the toilet.
So they had pissed themselves?
Yes.
Did they shit themselves too? Or
No,
just
they
piss?
pissed themselves.
Okay, so they had pissed themselves, and so they went back upstairs?
Gosney is trying to claim that James's death is the result of Hamilton's mistreatment, but that is not the case. Although he severely injured the boy, they were not mortal wounds.
They changed in their room. They didn't bother to come downstairs because they were so scared of Joel's being right there.
Okay, you just said all three of them came downstairs.
Yeah, that was after they had changed their clothes.
Okay, so they had already, while you were up there with them,
Yes.
they changed clothes.
Yes.
I got you. So,
Two had came downstairs, which was James had not made it downstairs when he told me to make them stay upstairs.
okay, so they changed their clothes. And then all four of you come down steps. Is that right? Am I thinking
Three
right?
of us came down, and then went up there to try to help James downstairs. And that's when Joel said,
Who's Joel?
that's his nickname.
Okay,
He told me to make them stay upstairs. So they literally got halfway down the stairs, and I had to go tell them to go back upstairs.
so they never
So-
went downstairs at all?
The two did,
The two did.
got downstairs.
Okay,
And then he told me to make them go back upstairs.
okay.
So if whoever was downstairs, to make them go upstairs, and to let the other one know if they come downstairs, he was going to beat the shit out of them again.
So they turn around and go back up the steps?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, what do? You put them to bed or what?
I told him to go to bed upstairs.
So they went on to bed?
Yes, because he wouldn't let them come downstairs where they had been sleeping at because of the new environment.
Okay, so they're in the bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Where are both boys? In the same bedroom?
The front bedroom.
The one straight ahead?
Yes.
Okay, so both boys are in that, and you're
Off to the side right
off
there.
to the side. Okay, so that night, so you come back downstairs
Yes.
after the kids are in bed?
Yes.
Okay. You're downstairs with James, and what's the conversation?
He told me,
Specifically, what the conversation was. No bullshit.
I'm not bullshitting. He told me to make sure them kids stay the fuck upstairs, and I need to get off my lazy ass and do something with these fucking children.
Okay. What else?
And I told him I didn't want to do anything with them children. I just want to go to bed
Right, and what
because
else?
it was so late.
And what else?
And he just kept nagging on about getting the kids. So I yelled for the kids to come downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a good minute. They were standing back in the corner because he wouldn't let them sit down.
What does that mean? Tell me about that. Once they come downstairs?
Yeah, he wouldn't let them sit down ever.
Okay. How did James get downstairs?
Helped them downstairs.
up and downstairs at that time?
Yes.
Okay, so now all 3 children are downstairs, and what happens after you called them down?
Told him, come downstairs. He wanted me to get rid of you guys. What I should have done was make him do it.
Not what you should have done. So he says that. Tell the kids he wants me to get rid of you guys.
Yeah, exactly what I told him.
And then what?
It took me like 10 minutes to make sure they were all downstairs from getting changed and whatever they had to do upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So once they all got downstairs, I took them out to the van.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure they buckled up.
What did James say to all this? He's telling you something specific, I would assume. What's the conversation between you and James? How does he want you to get rid of him?
He just told me to take them to the run. He just said rush run.
And do what?
He just told me to take them there and drop them off.
Okay.
So I took them there and dropped them off. And no tendency of hurting them, nothing.
I'm tired.
Hamilton told Gosney that he was tired of dealing with her children and was prepared to leave her if she didn't do anything about it. She did not initially intend to kill any of them when she decided to abandon them. But in that location, at that time of the year, there's a chance that they would have succumbed to the elements.
So you're up at Rush Run at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. James tells you to what, use his van or no? Does he want you
He
to
told
use?
me to use whatever.
He didn't care what you used.
Nope.
All right. He didn't give you any specific guidelines on how to get rid of the kids. He didn't tell you any directions at all how to get rid of the kids.
He just told me the best place was Rush Run.
Okay. He didn't give you any how I'm supposed to get rid of the
No.
kids. Okay. So now you're up at Rush Run. Okay. Just you and the 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
Now what happens?
I told the kids to get out.
Okay.
And then that's when James didn't want to get out, or he didn't even answer me.
So the 2 kids get out.
Yes.
Okay.
James would not answer me for nothing.
Okay.
And I was back there kind of like shaking his arm, trying to get him to talk to me, and he wouldn't say anything.
Okay.
Well, I had picked him up and set him outside of the door
Mm-hmm.
before I even took off anything. I had told him to go to the bathroom and to take James with him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, James was leaning up, pulling on the door, and then he just sat there and was trying to get him up to get him to the bathroom.
Trying to get him up, what do you mean?
He was sitting on the ground.
How was he reaching the door handle sitting
On
on the
his
ground?
knees. He can reach the door handle on his knees.
Okay. Okay, so he's holding on the door handle, and you're back in the van. Is that right?
I was back in the van, yes.
That's
I was
what I
just
meant.
sitting there.
You're just sitting there. At what point do you drive off?
Like 5 minutes later.
Okay. And he's still holding on to the side of the van?
No. That's why I was trying to tell you before. You was like, something else had to happen. Something else had to happen.
Something else did happen, right? Now you're telling me something else happened.
Yeah, he didn't have the handle. He had to hold the door handle for a couple minutes and had let go and just gave up basically and sat there.
So, about 5 minutes later, you drive off.
Yes.
Okay. And you said you're gone for how long?
I didn't drive off all the way. I heard the children screaming, remember?
Yeah.
I heard the 2 kids screaming, and I didn't get that far because I heard them screaming because I stopped
Mm-hmm.
and was just looking around. And then after they stopped screaming for a minute, I went on.
Okay. I'm about to lose my temper, and I'm trying not to. I'm going to take a break.
After hearing how Gosney didn't even check to see what could have caused the horrifying screams of her children, The detective struggles to remain professional and is forced to pause the interview to collect himself so he does not become emotional and make mistakes.
Do you want to talk to me or no? You probably don't, because you're not going to tell me the truth. You've sat back there in that jail and you've tried to come up with some excuse for the, hold on, let me move over here. I'm too close to you. Because you've sat back there in that, just listen, okay? You've sat back there in that jail and you've tried to come up with some reason to justify you not getting charged with murder. Here's where we are, okay? There's no doubt in my mind you took those kids out there to leave them for them to either freeze to death, for them to fall in the water and drown, or for coyotes or some other wild animal to eat those children. There is no look in my eyes, there is no doubt in my mind that you took those children to Rush Run Lake to die. There is no doubt in my mind you took all 3 of your kids there to die. Now, maybe you weren't going to do anything to them. Maybe you didn't have plans to take them out there and shoot them, stab them, cut them, drown them.
Gosney is prevaricating. By abandoning them, she can allow herself to avoid accepting the responsibility for anything that might have happened to them. This is evident by the fact that she shows no negative reaction to the possibility of their deaths.
Maybe you didn't have any plans at all to do that. I have no reason to think for sure that you did.
Yeah, I didn't have no reason to do anything.
But you had every intention of taking those children out there to die.
Well, I didn't know they were going to die, but I took them out there.
You took them out there hoping no one would ever see them, find them, or you would never see them or hear from them again. Is that a safe assumption?
Yes.
So when you went out there with your 3 kids, they were well enough to walk on their own, all 3 of them. They were all 3 well enough to talk on their own. They all knew where they were, and they were scared to death. Am I correct?
Yes.
James had I'm asking you, had James instructed you to take them out there and leave them?
You're talking about Big James?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not going to call him Jaws because that's stupid. I'm going to call him Big James.
Okay.
Big James.
I prefer you do it that way, so I'm not getting
there. And that's good because I've gotten confused actually going through my notes. Big James and you decided that they were interrupting your all's relationship. And
you said they wasn't listening, so I need to get rid of them because I wasn't disciplining them.
Okay. They were causing a problem between you and Big James.
Yes.
I'm going to say the decision was made. I'm not going to point fingers. The decision was made that they need to exit your all's life relationship.
Yes, and that was him.
Okay. You then load them up in Big James's van.
Yes.
You and the children.
Yes.
Go out to Rush Run.
Where he had told me to take them.
And you told me that, and I believe that. I really do, because I found that, even though you deleted your browser stuff, I found that in your phone. I've already got search warrants, and I've started going through your phones. I found that. And I can even, if you don't believe me, I'll go get it and name off half a dozen places you looked up directions for, but.
Yeah, because I've told you that I've always used my GPS because
Right.
I know nothing.
Right. Because you don't know. You've looked up Walmart.
Yeah,
You've
I
looked
know
up,
nothing.
Right, and I'm with you, but I'm saying what time of night, once again, did you take those kids out there?
Well, he told me.
Just tell me. Just tell me what time of night do you think you took those kids out at the park? Just guess.
I believe it was Friday morning.
Friday. Okay, but what time?
Like 2 something?
So it was late at night. You knew
Yeah.
there would be no one there.
Yes.
And you knew they would be all
He
alone.
told me there was going to be nobody around.
Okay.
But I had asked him, what if somebody sees him?
Mm-hmm.
And he told me there was nobody out at that time.
So when the kids exited the vehicle
Uh-huh.
and you pull out of the parking lot, when you left your house in Middletown
Mm-hmm.
and you were driving, you had intentions that was going to be the last car ride you ever took with your children.
Yes, because I was dropping them off there.
Okay. You knew that when you left your house there on Crawford Street. So you drive out there, you drop them off, and I'll say this, somehow James gets killed. Little James gets killed. You pull out, and again, when you pull out of the lot, you don't have any intentions of ever seeing those kids again.
No, and I didn't have any intentions on doing anything to them.
There were relatives that would have been willing to take the children, and Gosney could have given them up for adoption. She made no effort to attempt to take these avenues to remove the children from her custody in a safe manner.
Okay, that's fair. You leave the lot, and how long were you gone until you turned around and went back?
The text message that I had sent him.
Mm-hmm. The last one that I saw was on OMW.
On my way back.
Okay.
That's basically what that means.
Yeah, on my way back now.
Yes.
Where were you at when you sent that?
I was a little ways down the road.
You went up the driveway from the park.
Yes, and turned left.
Turn left.
Because I had followed my GPS to
Sure,
go back home.
Sure.
And I had stopped quarter ways down the road,
Mm-hmm.
and I had turned back around because he told me the kids are just going to be running around, they're going to get hurt.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop you. The first time, and several times, and even in the polygraph, you said that you texted James, told him you were dead, that he was, or you texted Big James and said he's dead.
He might have been dead.
He might have been dead.
Yes.
So where were you at whenever you texted dead?
On my way home.
Because you texted on my way, be right on my way home. You texted that, right?
Yes, I had text that.
And so then you were thinking James was dead, but you were little James, but you were going to go on home.
I was thinking it because the kids were screaming. I didn't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Gosney gets tangled in her story, unable to get the sequence of events straight to fit her claims.
But then after you told Big James you were on your way home, then you texted him and said, little James is dead.
Yes, that's when I had went back to get them and told him I was on my way home with them. Because he told me not to leave.
Well, but in the
James
polygraph, you said the only reason you went back was because Big James told you to.
Yeah, because he said they'd be running around.
Okay. You see, this is where we are. Do you not hear yourself when you're talking? Or is just you're so full of shit you can't remember what lie you told? Would this be easier if I got a pen and paper and let you write down what you're telling me so you can remember the lies you're telling? You see, you're still only worried about one person, I guess that's two, one person on the planet. And you know who that is? That's you. You're going to sit there and you're going to lie. You're going to continue to lie. And you're going to continue to lie because the only thing in the world that you're worried about, you're not worried about 9-year-old that is so freaking skinny, that is got severely malnourished. You don't give a shit about her. You don't give a shit about who is just a little itty bitty thing himself. And you don't even give a shit about little dead James. The only thing you're worried about in the world is trying to come up with a good story that's going to keep your lying ass out of prison. That's all you're worried about. When you first sat down at a table with Hoover, he told you, the only thing you've got in this world is the truth. Do you remember him telling you that? And all this other shit, all this story, oh, it's James's fault. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Oh, it's this. I didn't mean that. Honey, I've caught you in like 5 lies in about 2 minutes because you cannot remember what bullshit story or sentence you said 30 seconds ago. Am I wrong?
No, I have a memory problem. I've been trying to tell you guys
you're
that.
full of shit. We've already talked to
Can
your
I have
doctor.
a paper so I can maybe...
You want to write down your lies? You want to write down a good journal? You're full of shit. You killed your kid, and you
No,
don't
I
give a
didn't.
rat's ass.
Yes, I do.
Gosney insists that she cares what happened to her child, but her protest is unconvincing. Brittany Gosney pleaded guilty to murder and 2 counts of felony child endangerment. Gosney was facing 16 counts overall and initially pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but she was found competent to stand trial following a court-ordered mental evaluation. The remaining 13 counts were dismissed as a part of her plea deal. Gosney must serve 21 years before she will become eligible for parole and will have to register as a violent offender. Thank you for watching. If you like this type of content and want to support the channel, there is a Patreon link in the description below. You'll be able to watch videos with 0 ads and some that are too controversial for YouTube, and you'll be supporting the channel at the same time. Thanks again for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video.